And we're driving down to Manhattan, and I'm thinking, this is the first national TV show that's live, I think. With millions of viewers, like, second to Johnny Carson. So I started getting nervous, and I started opening up a bottle of Stolichnaya vodka, and by the time I got to the studio, I was drunk. And then there's this other powder that you can somehow get from somebody, and that kind of woke me up. And then I got on the set, and I was kind of funny, I guess.
It's iconic, Ace.
It's all in the balance of that stuff. I don't use that anymore, but
Peter said you're gonna.
I don't have any regrets
did you?
because it was fun at the time.
Peter said you're gonna get it in the dressing room. Did you?
Get what in the dressing room?
I don't know. That's what I always wondered.
I think she means from Gene and Paul. I'm guessing.
No, they didn't say anything. They knew I stole the show. But Tom Snyder was knocking on my door right after we...
You wanted to go party with you, bro.
He goes, I gotta meet this guy. And
I love that video.
He came in and we just shook hands, and I said, thank you so much for having us on the show. I hope I didn't get too overboard with some of my statements. He says, no, you were a riot. Thank you.
That was like kind of reality TV way before, you think about it, right? Amazing. About a book for me. I thought about it like even as long as 10 years ago, and I started writing some stuff and getting some good interviews from people that I worked with and all, and there was a guy helping me that, we started to field out like publishers to see what they wanted. And at the time, you remember that Motley Crue book called The Dirt, okay? Now we all know Motley Crue, really, all four of them always lived that really intense, hard living rock and roll life, and you guys kind of know me. I didn't have that kind of a story to tell, and I just, they wanted something like that, and that wasn't possible from my experience, number one, number two, my personality, So I noticed, though, that through the years when I've celebrated, my years with the band on my website by talking about certain things, I noticed that people really loved that. They loved hearing the process of creating the albums, doing the videos, doing the tours, and so on, And I really think that once I really feel like I want to focus on it, a lot of it will be that. It will be my experience and what it is to be in a band like Kiss. My whole career, there's a lot of interesting pre-Kiss stories that... And it's interesting how so many things have like intertwined actually in my life with other artists and are related to Kiss in a way. And I always say when I don't really want to focus on it that it's still being written. I mean, you saw Wednesday Night, right? All right, was that history? All right, and for me that was something incredibly special to play with this man and Gene and Paul and Tommy and Eric. That was amazing. It was 22 years in the coming, I don't know. So there's still more to experience,
All right, I think we have time for one last question. Hi, I'm John Shearer from Reading, Pennsylvania. My question is, outside of Kiss, who were your favorite musicians to jam with?
Me?
Both of you guys.
I don't jam that often, on my downtime, me and Rachel go to Atlantic, Las Vegas, or we go boating, or we go to the beach, or fishing. I really, it's like, when I'm recording, I'm like 100% focused. And I don't even listen to music in my car because I want to give my ears a rest. And, the last guy I jammed with was Slash. That was on Origins Volume 1 when we did Emerald. What basically had happened, I had done half the solos and left spaces for Slash. He came in the studio and he tried filling in the holes that I had left. And he looked at me and goes, hey, please, let's just do it live. So we both plugged into a Marshall and we did it in about 3 different takes. And it was a very special moment. I should have videotaped it, but I didn't. But I just want to say one thing about, since you said that was the last question. We talked about drugs and, everybody knows my history. I have nothing to hide. But trust me, it's not really the way to go. When you think about my career, I went for 20 years without an album, and then when I got sober, now I'm up to my 4th album, you know, in 5 years. You know, in your mind, when you're on that crap, you think you're really productive and smart, and then you end up behind the 8 ball eventually. And, you know, now that I've been sober 12 years, you know, wrote more songs and been more creative than I've ever been in my life. So take the high road, guys. Take the high road.
All right, you heard what he said. He's happier, you guys. He's more creative. He's got more stuff to share with you guys just from that. So I applaud you, Ace, with that. That's brilliant. And I just wanted to make a mention of, there was the part of your thing about jamming. I just, real quick, you know, so I think Ace has been a guest too at the Rock and Roll Fantasy Camp. Did you ever get invited? Yeah. So, and Paul and Gene have done that as well, and Tommy. But there was one time, and I know, you know, I mentioned before Eric Clapton being a hero. Well, the band Cream was huge to me, okay? Jack Bruce and Ginger Baker. And then at one of the camps that I did in London, which was amazing because I got to record at Abbey Road, you know, the holy studio from the Beatles and all. But I got to jam with Jack Bruce, and we actually did Sunshine of Your Love and White Room. Simon Kirk was on drums from Bad Company and Free. And that was like, I was out of my mind. I know Ace gets it. You know, I was crying when I watched the video of it later, and I did study the songs a bit, but that was in my DNA because I grew up with that stuff. So talk about jam with someone. Ace got a chance to do stuff with Slash, but you know, I got to play with Jack Bruce. That was amazing. Really, really fun.
All right, looks like we got one more question over here.
More of a statement real quick. My name's Dana from Detroit, and bouncing off of her question from the Tom Snyder interview, we dressed up as plumbers for Dynasty Night last night, and I would just like to present you with a shirt and my own personal trout, because I'm also a trout player.
Oh,
for you.
man.
I think you dropped this backstage while you were working on a piece of pipe back there. So, yeah, thank you.
Thank you. That's so cute. I never knew that Tom Snyder was going to come back so quick. I got a piece of pipe backstage, and I just lost it, you know, because it definitely kind of inferred something that wasn't normal.
He's a plumber. There it is.
Thank you so much. That's very thoughtful of you.
That's it. How about that?
Rock and roll.
Bruce Kulick and Ace Frehley together on the same
You guys are the
stage.
best. Thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Ace and Bruce. Stick around. Coming up next, Bruce himself on stage, 6:30.